my channel. Welcome back to another episode with bosbeauty. My name is Naturalbrows if you're new, and if you've been coming along, thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for saying. I appreciate you all. On today's episode, I'm going to be doing a brow tutorial. This is a very much requested video from me, both on Instagram and on here. So I've decided to bring you a tutorial of that. So stay with me and let's get started. So to get the perfect brow, you need, I don't know why the sun is doing me like this, but yeah, you need your brow pencil. This one is from Evita Joseph, which I love so much. You guys are going to see the reason why I love it when I start using it. You need your concealer. You need your concealer brush. This one is also from Evita Joseph. I've got another one from Anastasia. They're the same thing, and I actually bought some on AliExpress as well, but this one is from Evita Joseph. I've got a blending brush, which is from a brush set that I have, and I've got my spoolie to brush. So I'm going to start by brushing my hair, my brow hair. Really, the secret to a perfectly drawn brow is when you've actually trimmed the excess, which I have done sometime last week. I'm not going to be trimming that. You know, if you can do that, you know, trim your brow, then it makes it easier. However, if you're the type that you don't actually trim your brow, then, you know, you can still do it. All you need to do is you just have to pretend that those overgrowth are not there, and that's literally the secret. So I'm starting, I've brushed that hair. I've seen, you know, a different way of doing it recently, which I'm going to be doing on the other side, so you can see the difference. So I'm using my brow brush. This one is in chestnut brown. Evita Joseph, this is a Ghanaian brand. You can actually use any brow pencil that you want, but the reason why I like this one is because it's a fine, thin pencil, and it just stays where you want it to be. So I'm going to start by drawing the bottom line, literally following the shape of my brow. Can you see that? You can see that that's where my hair actually grows. I haven't got anything there, so I'm just going to bring that place down, you know, just following that shape. If you had hair, all you need to do was pretend that this, you know, little ones are not there, so you're following literally the shape that you started with all the way, and you can see that your hair, your brow actually goes up there, and yes, you just fill that in. Yeah, now to do the top, you can actually measure this as well, which I've got a video on that before. So you're measuring where you start is there. Where your arc is the middle of your nose, so your pointed part of your nose, where it cuts your brow like that, not like that. You can see that that's on the side now, so literally the middle where it cuts the brow, and that's your arc. Or you can say the highest peak of your brow, which is where your hair, so even if you have the growth there, obviously your hair wouldn't be as thick, so it will be where it is thick. And now where it stops is the end of your nose again, going down like that, and you see that. Yeah, not the end of your eye, because if you do that, then you're having it there, and then it will look like a round shape. It will cover your eye, but you want it to be the side of your nose where it cuts your brow. So yeah, and now that I've done this, the other thing that I tend to do is I finish this part first. Obviously I've got hair there and I can see it, so I want to finish this part where there's no hair. I tend to do a V from that arc or arch, I don't know how you call it, and then you bring it down. Can you see how it cuts that, you know, bottom line that you've drawn? If I don't like this shape, if I don't want it that way, then I take it again from that arc and just make it go round, because I want it to be the same line as that, and then bring it down still, which really is still the same thing. It's just giving you a little bit of a lift on that side. And now I'm filling the inner part just to complete that end part of my brow. So looking at this compared to that one, you can see that, you know, I've literally finished that brow already. If I want, I could, you know, take this a bit higher, which really, if you take it too higher, then that's when you have that arc. And if your face doesn't have it, it doesn't look nice. It doesn't flatter your face. It makes it look weird, if you get what I mean. So I feel that part, and then I can bring this part all the way to the front, like so. So looking at this, if I was to give you a pencil to fill it up, you already know where you're gonna fill up. So it's literally all this sparse place where you can see like no hair. Literally, that's all you're filling. You can see how easy that pencil just fills it in. Yep. And because we don't like this square in the middle, you can use your spoolie and just brush it out, like so. So it doesn't have that square shape in there. Can you see how I filled everything? And me brushing my hair up, you can see that the pencil is exactly where the hair is, apart from this part where I feel like the hair is a bit higher. So all I need to do is just take the pencil just a little bit there. What I say is, if you're patient with your brow, then definitely it doesn't give you a problem, because it is actually very easy. But when you're trying to do it very fast, that's when you start having problems with it. Yeah. Okay. So now that I'm happy with the shape that I've drawn, I'm gonna go ahead and apply my concealer. And this concealer that I'm using obviously is mine. If I was doing it for clients, then I would use my concealer brush. So I'm going to be using that for you guys, because I know most of you are used to, you know, using your brush. If you have this concealer brush, or you have the flat edge one, I haven't got it here. Okay, I've got this one. I know some people tend to use this one. This is actually an eyeliner brush. So when you're using this one, you can see that it's very small, it's tiny. It doesn't cover a large area, you know, of the brow that you're trying to do the concealer. So it takes a long time to actually do it. I don't use that brush. I use this one, or the flat one. I will try and show you guys the flat one very soon. So because I'm doing my brow, I can either use, because I'm using this concealer from NARS, and I like the way the brush, you know, the brush of the concealer is. It's so easy to apply, and I'm just starting from the middle. So literally following the shape that I have drawn. Can you see that? Literally. Yeah, I'm going to use the brush on the other side, like I said I was going to show you. So now that I've put that there, I'm going to take my, where's the blending brush? I'm going to take my blending brush and blend that concealer out, like so. So because my hand is straight there already, I won't have to go over, you know, that side. It's just the excess concealer that I'm going to be blending out. That's a very easy way to do your brow, but you can see that that line is not straight. So I take my concealer again. I'll use the concealer brush this time so you can see what that would do. So now taking the brush, just making a straight line underneath the brow. And just blending out again. So even though when I was drawing that pencil, you were probably thinking, oh, that's really light, you know, the pencil is not showing or whatsoever. it does actually show. So your pencil doesn't have to be really thick for you to have a, you know, nicely done brow. The pencil can be as light as possible. Can you see how I'm just blending that concealer in? And what I say, you know, to my students most of the time, or even to myself, if the bottom is straight, guys, and the top, if you're careful with it and it's straight, you don't need to put concealer there, because when you're applying your foundation, you're still going to go into it anyway. So why not let your hand be straight and just make the job easy for you? So I'm going to do the other side with the other step, which the only thing you're doing extra with that is, I've been seeing this trend of using got-to-be glue, and I like it. And what this does is it just helps to keep your hair in place. So obviously, because my hair is very thin, it's not much, that looks like it's in place. But if you're the type that you don't shape your brow and it's full and it's thick and it's all over the place, you know, you got some brow hair that are like curly, then this is the way forward. I'm putting a little bit, just a tiny bit. That's actually too much. I don't need that much. And then I'm taking my spoolie, take a little bit of that gel and use it to brush your brow hair up. And what that does is it helps you to actually see the bottom of your brow, the top of your brow very well, and it keeps the hair up in a very good sleek shape. If you feel like you need more, your brow hair is not in place, then just feel free to take a little bit more. And this actually dries out really quick. I've done this quite a few times. I've not had any reaction to it, so it is safe to do, but always do a patch test before you do this, because our skins are different. So I'm happy with that. You can see how nice and sleek in place that brow hair is compared to that one. Now I'm taking the same brow pencil in chestnut brown, and I'm drawing the bottom like I did with the other one. See that? Sometimes instead of drawing that line, I tend to just, you know, follow the shape of the brow hair and just make strokes like this. And then I just use the concealer to clean it. So making strokes, you know, filling in the middle space, and this just actually give you a natural looking brow as well. And like I said, this pencil is so nice. I've done this this style before in one of my videos, and it came out looking thick because the pencil that I used is thick, but it was still looking nice because the brow hair was in place. Can you see that? And the hair is still slick and nice. So now to finish this part where there's no hair, like the other one, I will just start it from the top there and bring it down to meet the other one. Yeah, and then fill in strokes as well. Ignore that boy in the background. I sent him to the sitting room. And you see that? You see the difference between those two. And if I want, I could do a line up there again. Alright, so can you see the difference between these two brows? This is looking all nice and symmetrical, like I've done some mathematics on it. and this is looking like I haven't done any mathematics on it, but this is like a very easy way to do it. And now I'm going in with my concealer, the same concealer, using my concealer brush, just taking it very lightly, and then following the shape that I've drawn. Just making sure that place is straight. My hand is so unstraight, like that's why most of the time I tend to just use this on myself rather than using the brush. I use brush on the clients because obviously I can see them very well. I'm using my phone as my mirror, so it can be very tricky. And then I'm now going in with my brush. You can see that I didn't actually put concealer at the beginning because I like to have that natural looking brow feel at the beginning. I just take my concealer right there. Can you see how easy that concealer? If you don't use too much concealer, then it makes blending easy for you as well, rather than having to go in and keep going in and keep going in, you know. So yeah, you can see how easy. See, when you're doing your brow, the most important part is that straight line of concealer, not a deposit of concealer, guys, not a deposit, just that straight line, just to make it look sharp and nice, not necessarily, you know, you depositing concealer there. It's just how you do it. And I'm just using my hand to just make it blend in a bit more. And obviously if I decide to just go out with my brow done like this, no foundation or anything, that is looking nice and neat. So guys, you can see the difference between this brow and the other one. I've used the Got2b glue on here, and the good thing about this is that this brow, the hair, is not going to move anywhere because the Got2b glue has helped it to stick in place. That's the advantage. However, with this one, because I haven't applied anything, you can see what is happening with the brow hair. It is moving away. So if you want something very easy, you know, something to make life easy for you, then, you know, Got2b glue is something that is, I'm sure almost every lady has the Got2b glue. It could be the yellow one, it could be the black one, it's up to you. If you don't want to use the Got2b glue, your soap brows, which I used to use and I've used before, so your soap brow, yes, is an official one to use, because obviously the Got2b glue, like I said, you have to try it on your skin, but even the soap brow, you still have to try on your skin. Our skins are really different, so on clients, I would rather use the soap brows than using the Got2b glue, just because, you know, I want to be careful. I don't want to put their skin on risk. So yeah, I would use the Got2b glue. But if you have the Got2b glue at home, then yes. And you can see that because that place is straight, I didn't have to put any concealer. If I want to use concealer at the top there, then I use my foundation shade. So just for you guys to see what, you know, what it would look like. Where is that? The same concealer brush. You can see that I've cut that short a little bit, but then it looks really nice and sharp. I'll just go in and apply my pencil again, just to that tail. So you can see that applying my foundation made it so nice and it blends quickly compared to you using another concealer to blend that top bit. So you know, that's the difference. And obviously with this one that I did not do, my hand is still straight at the top, so by the time I put my foundation, I just take my time and, you know, use the foundation at the top there. And that's the reason why I say I don't normally do the top of the brow when I'm doing it. At first I just go in with my foundation and make sure my hand is straight on that side. And that's gonna be the end of this video, guys. Let me know which side is your favorite and which one you're going to be trying, and I'll see you next time in my next video.